Good morning, K1 team. So this is the last reading of 2020. A good book picked up by Nahel called Tokoyo, The Tomb of the Sea Serpent. So that's the story that takes place in Japan. A long time ago, in a small village in Japan, there was a girl named Tokoyo. So look, that's Tokoyo with her daddy. When she was a child, her father taught her to dive into the deep waters. Tokoyo grew up loving the sea. In it, she knew no fear. You see, she's diving into the water and she found some treasure. Her father was a great samurai. He was a samurai warrior, and he served a young warlord far away from home. One day, the warlord became mysteriously ill. Misled by jealous samurai, the warlord came to believe Tokoyo's father was behind his illness, and he banished him to the Oki Islands. So you see, Tokoyo's father has been banished, so he has been sent over to an island in the middle of the sea. There is a storm in the sea, and the father needs to stay by himself onto the Oki Islands. The islands were wild. There were stories about sea monsters dragging fishermen's boats into the deep. No one dared to fish in the waters around the islands. You see the monsters in the sea, right there, black monsters. And this is fishermen. They are scary. They don't want to go fishing around the island. So Tokoyo was left alone in the village. She missed her father dearly. She was determined to brave the waters to find him. So what did she decide? The journey would be costly and dangerous, so Tokoyo sold all her belongings and began the long trek to the tip of the Shima province. You see, she went to the market, she sold her treasure and whatever she belongs to get enough money to travel and find her daddy. For several days and nights she wandered until she saw the outline of the Oki Islands across the sea. She managed to get on the top of the mountain, and now she sees the islands far away. So Tokoyo tried to find a boat to take her to the islands. However, the fishermen were afraid to get too close. See, she's trying to have a boat with the fishermen, but the fishermen don't want to go because they are afraid of the monster in the water. Tired and discouraged, Tokoyo sat down to rest. She rested on a beach. After a while, she was awakened by the sound of crying. Crying? On a cliff above her was a white-robed priest and a weeping girl. See the priest and the weeping girl? Tokoyo ran up to find out what was happening. There was a monster living in the sea. See the monster? It's a big sea serpent. A sea serpent we call Yofune Nushi. Every year, our village must sacrifice a young girl to it. Sacrifice meaning they must kill a young girl. Or the monster will create storms around the islands, the priest explained. Have you tried to kill it? Tokoyo asked. Many men have tried, but none have returned, he replied. So look, there are many men that have tried to kill the monsters. They all died. They drowned. So Tokoyo said, let me take the place of the girl. I don't fear the animal, I don't fear the sea. I am a samurai's daughter and I can kill the serpent. So Tokoyo jumped into the water, then into the sea. She took a large breath. She dived into the sea. She took a knife from her bundle and dived into the icy cold waters. On and on she swam until she finally reached the bottom of the sea. There, she found a small cave. You see the monster here? She was unable to see anything in the darkness, but suddenly she heard a big roar. The monster is just behind her. You see the monster, how big it is? A monster shaped like a snake slithered in from the rocks. It saw Tokoyo and swerved towards her, his jaws wide open. You know the jaws? Tokoyo darted sideways to get away from it. A knife clenched in her hand. She began a fierce attack. You see the knife? The serpent roared in the pain as her knife hit through. She managed to hit the snake right in the middle of the eyes. The serpent thrashed out furiously. Tokoyo ended his suffering with one last plunge on her knife into his heart. It gave a ear-deafening groan and collapsed. So Tokoyo has managed to kill the monster. See the knife in his heart? So Tokoyo swam to the surface of the sea with the body of Yofune Nushi. Seeing proof that the monster was dead, the villagers held a joyful celebration. And word of her heroism spread to the young warlord, who became strong and healthy again. The warlord realized that his illness has been caused by a curse placed on him by the evil Yofune Nushi. So to reward Tokoyo for breaking the curse and freeing the villagers from the sea serpent's power, he released her father. So look, Tokoyo and her father, they are together again. He welcomed him and Tokoyo to the palace. The warlord honored Tokoyo in another way. He allowed her to serve him alongside her father. To this day, people remember her as a great heroine. You see, she became a samurai warrior, a knight. Voila. As for the dead monster, Yofune Nushi was buried at the cliff that Tokoyo had dived in from. The villagers built a shrine at his grave and named it the Tomb of the Sea Serpent. It marked the end of a reign of terror and celebrated how one girl could make a difference in the world. Girls power! Have a good holiday. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye bye.